This week on Dr. Drew After Dark, these are stressful, difficult years.
Yes.
And you have to just get through that because you have a different priority, which is raising these damn kids and keeping the relationship alive and satisfied. You threw a butt plug up your vagina and forgot it was there.
Or a potato.
Okay.
From the booth, you want this to be cured? Is that what
I know, yeah, why do you need it to be cured? Is that in your next life or after you kill me? Or
you
what?
were a perfect fit.
Is it after I die?
I
or
think, well...
Welcome to Dr. Drew After Dark. Please be advised that Dr. Drew After Dark may contain sexually oriented content and be unsuitable for young children. Hey, everybody, welcome to Dr. After Dark. Do support the people that support us so we can keep doing this thing. We appreciate it very much. We love your mom's house, and we love your emails at at drdreafterdark@gmail.com, and your voice messages at 818-253-1693. And as we've been doing for the last few weeks, live calls. So watch for our appeal for calls on social media. We'll put it out there when I'm here taking live calls. And you can call with, usually it's, medical, relationships, substance, whatever it might be. But today it's Ask Us Anything. The great Susan Pinsky joins me again.
Thanks for having me.
It is time to have her back.
I'm back.
Yeah. Woohoo. Yeah.
Boop, boop.
We discovered last time that your frontal lobe is functioning well, and that's good. We worried about that last time.
I had it checked.
They
said it's fine.
It's fine. We just talked about it.
I have a good sense of humor.
And we have... you come up with a little head of steam this time.
That's why you love me.
She came in with a head of steam, guys. You see that? It's like putting me back on my heels. So did you have anything you wanted to talk about today? Anything on your mind?
No, I'm just going to let the callers do that thing.
Do that thing. Okay. And we do have calls. I'm going to get to them in mere moments. Before we do, I just thought we'd go right to some emails. You want to do that?
Okay.
Okay. I was making love with my wife, 30 years in the missionary position with a normal-sized penis. I hit something that felt like a golf ball with the head of my penis. It was painful and surprised us both. I kept going and hit it again until I released my poison.
I know what it is.
What is it?
It's probably a tampon.
Oh, interesting idea. I had not thought about that, but you would be shocked how common...
Golf ball.
Well, you'd be shocked how common it is that people leave stuff behind.
Maybe. Anyways, go ahead.
Usually what they actually... this is a great point. Usually what women actually do is they forget they put one in and put one in on top of one and pushes it back up high. And
everybody's done it.
Everybody's done it.
I think you've had to rescue a tampon.
Or two.
Yeah.
And we have a device actually to pull these things out if you have to go... If you can't... The way to get them out is you bear down.
Or
you lean.
It could be like a butt plug or something.
No.
No?
Keep going.
Okay. Anyways, go ahead. Read the rest of it.
Plug. You threw a butt plug up your vagina and forgot it was there.
Or a potato.
Okay. So it could be a tampon. And if that's so, you can kind of squat down and bear down like you're having a bowel movement and kind of see if you can feel that.
Sometimes they put those things in.
What I was thinking this is a cervical polyp. Your the uterus can frequently get these growths that can be the size of a golf ball, and they can peek out the head of the cervical os sometimes. There's usually a little bleeding with that, so if there was any bleeding, that's sort of evidence that it was a cervical polyp. And there could be uterine polyps, there could be other things, but there's lots of things that grow in that area. She needs a pelvic exam right away. And if it's an old tampon, then the doctor will take it out when he or she looks in there.
But it's probably just biological.
Probably you've said you guys have been having sex for 30 years, so you're at least middle age, and so that's when you get the polyps and stuff. That's when that starts up. Did you ever have polyps? I don't remember.
Well, I had
You're like, no.
I had ovarian cysts.
That's different. That's way up inside. You didn't have them when you were not being stimulated by the fertility treatment, though, did you?
No.
Right. You had them as part of the fertility stuff.
It was just later. I had a few.
They're very common. Wife is an obstetrical nurse having a conversation about how females are born with all the eggs that they will have in their lifetime. So technically, the egg that was and is now you was inside your grandmother. Wait a minute. Your grandmother?
What?
No, the egg that is or was you now was in your mother. Oh, she means, so when your mother was in your grandmother, your mother's eggs had you in there when she was in your grandmother. That is true.
Right.
So I asked my wife if...
So do you have eggs before you're mature? But
when the ovaries develop, they develop with eggs.
Yeah, but well, anyways.
They aren't folliculating. They aren't forming.
No, yeah,
But
they come
they're
out in clusters every month. different
later.
ones,
Yeah, not clusters.
So they weren't
hopefully one
in
at a
there.
time. They can go in clusters, but usually it's one at a time.
Oh, I thought you had more than one. Oh, I guess you would have twins or triplets or whatever.
Right. My wife asked if a fetus or an infant could theoretically have its eggs collected and used in an IVF process. Wow, is that an interesting question? Or if the eggs are only viable when a woman reaches sexual maturity. She looked at me like I was Dr. Mengele and went to bed. Then I Googled it, but it's not there. I'm also pretty sure I'm on a watch list now. This is a great question.
Yeah, for sure.
Use that brain for good. Use that mind for good, as I'm off to say. When people come up with these incredible ideas.
That's pretty intense. That's a very thoughtful letter.
Yeah, I do believe that I suspect it probably has to be after puberty. I suspect.
I don't think you start.
Well, you have the eggs, though. Why couldn't you? Oh, you know why? Because in order to harvest the eggs, you have to make the
Menstruate.
follicles. You have to sort of the ovaries have to be functioning, and you
Yeah.
can't do that before menopause.
Yeah.
Before menarche, rather. So you have to have had puberty. You have to have had your period.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
You can't get pregnant before you have your period. So there's
Right,
no
and
eggs.
there are no eggs that you can't stimulate the eggs to be produced to the point that they can be harvested.
Yes.
All the eggs are sitting there because he's imagining that you just pluck the egg out of the ovary. No, you have to make them turn into follicles that then you suck out,
Right.
and you can't do that before the ovaries are functioning after puberty.
Deep thoughts.
Deep thoughts. Here's a question for Jenna.
You should be on a watch list.
Jenna has a question for Susan.
Hello, Jenna.
Hi, Jenna.
Hi guys, how are you?
I'm excited.
We are good. What's happening there?
Call for me.
I know.
I don't know.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I've always loved Drew, and I'm a new fan of Susan. Susan, you're just amazing, and I adore you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
Worthy.
I adore you more.
Worthy of your adoration.
Oh, thanks. Yes, I think so. So, I'm a pretty young mom still. My kids are, oh God, how old are they? 4, 6, and 8.
Great age.
I'm 33. Yeah, so I'm not raising triplets, but I'm very impressed that you guys raise triplets and still are like really hot for each other and just seem super happy. And my husband and I, fortunately, we married each other and we're very into each other.
Oh, good.
So we've managed to keep things like alive between us, but like, you know, how do we maintain it?
Yeah, you mean barely alive. When you have kids, everything's barely alive, including your soul. Trust me, we get
Right.
it. We get it.
Yeah, it's hard.
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to put a lot of work into
Yeah.
it. You have to find time away alone
Well, let's be fair. I mean,
for sexual encounters.
yeah, but it was
But I remember
Yeah.
saying something once, and HLN. Remember when we were on HLN, and they'd always like, what's intimacy to you, and what is your
What's your
passion or
secret?
whatever. And I remember saying, or I saw it on YouTube somewhere, that intimacy to me was when we were done with dinner and he'd do the dishes. And
Take
we
out
would
the
be
trash.
together,
Yeah.
and we would just sort of,
I get that.
it was like he gave me some of his time, and I don't know, and he also used to rub my feet, but and he still does. But I think that when you're raising kids, it's like you have to be connected because your kids keep you so busy, and you're always running between each one, and there's not a lot of time for you and your husband to just have intimacy. And it's not sex all the time. It's more
Right.
just connecting, and you know what I mean? And it sounds really boring or whatever, but I think Drew and I had that. And
I think you're in survival mode.
I mean, I wasn't like, intimacy now is
Yeah.
the same for us. Like, we're together all the time.
Yeah.
And we just, he's at night, like, we sit down, we watch TV, he does the dishes still, and I cook or whatever. And he's very, it's just good to have that communication between you and keep that going. And,
Yeah.
and, because then when times get rough, you have each other's back. And finding time for sex, that kind of intimate, has to be done either on a weekend trip, someone takes your kids, just have, it's a lot easier.
Well, but remember also after kids, you're still sort of post delivery. You're sort of postpartum. Your sex drive is way down. You might be breastfeeding. Biologically, you're way down. And I remember you used to always complain that you needed more stimulation to get going.
Right.
You needed more time and
also
space.
You were doing love lines, so you would leave at 10 o'clock. He'd get home at 6, we'd have dinner, and then he'd leave at 9, and he'd get back at 1 in the morning. So, and I'd have to get up in the morning with the kids at this age. I was very focused on them, and there wasn't like, oh, gee, let's have sex when you get home, because I was too tired.
Yeah.
But I think that time that we had together, and also you were on the road a lot. Like you'd go for weeks at a time.
That's what I'm saying. It was survival time. We kept it going enough that when we were out of survival mode, things could flourish again.
And
it wasn't like things were great the whole time. It was stressful.
Asexual at the time, but it just, my focus was the kids, the house, getting, people to come help me when he was gone, having a little bit of free time, like they'd go to bed, I'd have a glass of wine, I was like so happy, then I'd pass out, and then I'd wake up at 6, I'd go to the ice rink, and but he was like, I don't know how, he had a head of steam, he could just do so much, but Loveline was like a really good job for him, and then he was talking about sex at night, and he'd come home and he'd be horny sometimes, so I was like, really? But then he'd say, I'll drive the kids to school. And so, we'd occasionally have sex. But,
it was a lot less than I don't want to give her the idea that things were just glorious. These are stressful, difficult years.
Yes.
And you have to just get through that because you have a different priority, which is raising these damn kids and keeping the relationship alive and satisfied to the point that you're still connected. You still, like Susan's telling you. But the time, as she said, is when you really have the time. So when you go on vacation, which you must do, you can boom, you can be
like
good.
An overnight somewhere, just a little.
So you can be fine.
Date night,
And when the kids do go away,
I don't know if you can afford that.
Whatever, college or whatever, things are there, can just go again. Things are just Because I remember when the kids were left for college, the kind of feeling I had was just like, oh my God, that's right. We really like each other.
Yeah.
We'd forgotten that because we were busy building a life and a family and this all together. But it's like, oh yeah, we also really like each other and enjoyed
and
time
we could
together.
have sex anytime.
Yeah, which was fun.
We didn't have. Now we can't because we always have somebody in the house. Yeah. Actually, it's kind of funny because Paulina knocked on the door the other day when we were doing.
So has that helped, Jenna?
Oh my God! And then I think she realized it. She's 30, and it was so funny. He's like, what the hell is she doing?
What's wrong with our kids is what I said. And so, so Jenna, it is worth it. You'll build this thing together and you'll value each other even more because of what you've built together through this time.
Yeah.
And marital satisfaction always hits sort of a bottom right during sort of mean, average grade school years. That's when things sort of hit a bottom.
But
they go up again, and then they hit a bottom again during adolescence.
Sorry, I'm talking over you, Drew. But
go ahead.
But I love that age, like 6, 7, 8, or 5, 6. That because it's such a sweet spot. Like they haven't hit puberty yet. They're so adorable. They love their mommy. They'll listen to you. You can say things that are ridiculous and they'll believe you. And then later they'll say, I can't believe you said that to me. But it's just enjoy them as much as you can together with your husband because once they hit puberty,
we've been hitting like kind of a peak right now because we got out of like the baby and toddler phase.
Yeah.
So right now things seem really good, but I also know that that this is probably temporary. Because now we're entering into the phase of soccer schedules and homework.
Oh yeah.
So I know there's just going to be new craziness.
New craziness. That's the way to look at it.
No, and it's really good for you to just enjoy them at this age together with your husband. And remember it because I forgot like everything that happened in that period of time because I was always running around. But I realize it's because nothing traumatic happened during that period of time.
Which is good.
When they hit teens, I remember when certain things happen,
Yeah.
And I remember when they were babies because
that was traumatic.
That was always traumatic. It was just so much trauma going on. But you'll forget about those wonder years.
All right, my dear. Good luck.
And good luck.
Do this together. That's the important thing.
And just be intimate. That's it.
We got a bunch of other calls here. This is
instigate it.
See, I'm interested.
Is that the word? Instigate?
Instigate sex?
Yeah.
Initiate. Instigate's good too. This is Bertie from Minnesota. Bertie, what's up?
Hey, just wanted to quickly say it was great running into y'all at Kill Tony last year.
Oh my gosh, that's right. That was so fun.
Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah, we want to go back.
It was really exciting to see y'all. It was like all my podcast world colliding.
That's so funny.
That's true. Everybody was there.
But my question is actually one that the Trash Tuesday girls brought up a while back, and it's just stuck with me. And they were wondering if the size of a woman is typically proportional to the size of her hoo-ha.
And I'm assuming you mean by the depth, right? The depth of the vagina?
Yep.
Okay, and or the...
Yeah, that's what I assume.
And I would add to that, let's add to that, the ability to accommodate larger penises or have even a preference for larger penises. Is that relational to the body habitus of the woman? Are they taller, bigger if they're have a larger vagina, so to speak? What do you think?
Well, I would imagine your draw has something to do with it, like between your belly button and your crotch.
Funny.
That's if you measure it.
That's the draw.
Right, and I guess if you have a shorter draw, like I have a big draw.
Ah, mm-hmm.
That's why.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes. Like
a big draw.
from my ass to my belly button, I have a lot of space in between.
I see. So that's good for child rearing.
I guess they call it a long draw.
Long draw, not a big draw.
Yeah, long draw.
Okay. So Susan
But if
is.
you're like 5'2" and you're,
Well, what
the length
about
from your belly
sort
button.
of women have different sort of pelvic tilts and sort of designs. Some of them are sort of their pelvis flares out.
Yeah,
And
maybe. I don't know
And
about
is that a
that.
longer draw or is that?
No, I'm just saying if you have more space between your belly button and your butthole, you are definitely you can. They're inches. It's just math.
Bertie, thank you so much for bringing up this topic. We're enjoying getting
I
to
was
this
a
area.
seamstress, so I know. You know what I mean? I'm just measuring it, but
All right, just math.
yeah, I would say that. But it's just layman's terms.
I think
It's
the
not
title of this
medical.
podcast will be "The Draw is Just Math." It's just the draw. So I have noticed that women are all over the place with this kind of thing in terms of what I've done a lot of pelvic exams and things, and the depth is like
Stop bragging.
not necessarily. I would say as a sort, not even a rule, but as a sort of a general trend, it is true that if someone is bigger and taller, then there is more depth, and I've noticed they sort of seem to be a preference for a larger phallus, that kind of thing, that there's more to fill, so to speak, or something more to be satisfied or something.
Of course, because you have to get to the G spot. It's a little farther up.
All right. And so the answer...
that would make sense, but not everybody. But I mean...
And it's not everybody, right. It's not everybody at all.
If you watch a porn, which obviously Drew and I do sometimes.
Obviously.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Yep.
So sometimes like the guy can't get the penis all the way in, so they're smaller and they're always little people.
Small ones.
Yeah, like that's... So I mean, it's
so
obvious.
definitely it's the case that if smaller, then smaller and shorter, and if taller, generally towards longer.
But maybe
and bigger.
after you have babies, it gets
stretched out.
Get
That's
better,
right.
bigger.
What did the ladies from Trash Tuesday think, Bertie?
I think they thought it was proportional, but the question was up in the air.
Yeah, it's sort of what we're saying. I think it's because it's not a rule.
But you're
it's not
thinking
even a rule
about
of
length,
thumb.
not like how big.
I'm sort of doing both. I'm doing both.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing
I
both.
think it's the fit. You guys have talked about couples fitting. I think that's what they were getting at.
Want to address that?
About what couples
fitting
oh
together.
yeah, totally. You have to fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I like to feel like it's a perfect fit. I'm not going to marry I mean, I might marry somebody if I love them so much and I can work with it. I'm not saying, but
is that in your next life, or after you kill me, or
you
what?
were a perfect fit.
Is it after I die,
I
or
think. Well, I mean, for me, my preference when I was
After
in
you
my
kill me,
20s
after you
was
kill me.
I really liked a guy, but it was just like it wasn't a good fit. It didn't. I didn't.
And I would argue, I suspect that thing that is important to you, women are all over the place. Is the point, and it's not going to be important to all women. It's
No,
just the
I
way
know.
women are. There's a lot of diversity.
It's interesting what women are thinking about.
It is, and men are thinking none of it.
I guess
You know
I
what I
was
mean?
really
We
selfish.
have to sort of be
and
educated about it.
I guess I was really selfish, and I just wanted to have good sex. Somebody who was able to give me an orgasm and also had the right size penis. Like, I don't think,
Not a lot to ask for.
No, I know. I guess I searched long and hard and it happened.
Bertie, we appreciate the question. You got us into a good space here. This is hysterical.
Drew loves talking about it.
Thanks, Bertie. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially we're always growing, we're always changing. Therapy is about deepening your self-awareness and understanding. Sometimes we don't know what we want or why we react the way we do until we talk things through with another person. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. And I think I'm a fan of therapy, and I've been recommending people to BetterHelp for quite some time, and I'm impressed by the services they provide there. And no longer any stigma. You don't have to worry about running into anybody, anything like that. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. Switch therapist anytime for no additional charge. Discover your potential with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/AfterDark today to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/AfterDark. Hey there.
Hey, Dr. Drew. Hey, Susan.
Olivia.
Hey.
All right. So I called because my boyfriend and I have actually been sober. Well, I've been sober for almost a year, and he has struggled a lot with it. You know, I kind of gave him an ultimatum at the beginning. I was like, you know what? We can't do this. We both need to stop. We were drinking like 5 days a week. You know, for some reason it was really easy for me. And I haven't picked up anything since, but he's really struggled. He's lied. I found beer bottles. I found a beer can in his truck, you know, and he just lies and lies and lies. And I just feel like I have such a hard time. He says that he's been sober for almost 5 months now.
Yeah.
But I just, every time that I see him, I just think he's coming home, and I'm just like, I smell his breath. And
Yeah. So Olivia,
I wanted to even get like a breathalyzer.
have you did you go to a 12-step or anything yourself?
What was that?
Did you do any 12-step work yourself?
No, I haven't even gone to a meeting. He's in AA.
He's in AA.
He goes like 2
so
3 times a week.
you may not be.
good for him.
Yeah, it is good for him. You may not be a bona fide alcoholic. You may have just been drinking heavily. There's a difference between alcoholic and somebody who just drinks a lot. Somebody's alcoholic has trouble stopping. They keep going back. They're struggling like what you're describing. And what would be really helpful to yourself and to him is for you to go visit an Al-Anon meeting and ideally get a sponsor there yourself. They're available on Zoom. You can do it around the clock, or you can go right after you finish this call, go to an Al-Anon meeting.
I went to my first meeting on Monday, actually.
Great. Because you have to take this is not your disease to manage, it's his.
Right.
And you have to take your anxiety and all this heat that you're feeling, you have to take it off of him and take it to your program. Take it to the group, take it to your sponsor. And by the way, hearing all the stories in Al-Anon and having that support of that group will change how you relate to him. And it will help him. It'll be the one thing you can do that actually will help him. So I would just get engaged with that, and he's going to do what he's going to do. That's up to him. And you cannot control that.
She sounds a little panicked, though.
Oh, sure. She's very.
Very.
You also have to decide, are you going to put up with this or not too, which is going to be part of what you do in Al-Anon. Yeah. And if you do, if you decide to hang in, you have to be prepared for whatever comes, but you need your own support to be able to not be blaming him and up his tuchus about the whole thing, okay?
Do you think she should be like looking for evidence? Or she thinks she should just sort of put that on her head and try not to overthink it?
That's what Al-Anon will have her do.
Yeah.
Al-Anon will go, stop.
Yeah, you can't tell him how to.
You can't control his illness. You can't control his recovery. We know you love him and you're worried about him and all this stuff. And if you can't handle that and you have to end the relationship, you've got to get honest about that too.
Right.
Because not everyone can handle being in a relationship with an alcoholic. You're going to have to sort of make that determination. Let's see some videos. Let's clean the palate a little bit. We've been getting some heavy calls here. Let's do some video work, shall we? Oh, we have so much good stuff coming here. Oh my, Jesus Christ. Oh. Why are we watching this? Oh. We're watching lions kill a giraffe, and Zolo thinks it's funny. Why?
dragged to his death.
Why is this fun? Why are we watching this? Anybody?
This is how life feels these days. I swear to God. I feel like America's turning into this.
From Christina.
Christina wanted us to see this. Thanks, Christina. Love you. Well done. Let's see another one.
Oh, it's
Hello,
not.
so we're doing Christmas pictures
Here we go.
with my polycule, and we're doing Adam's family. So
What's a polycule?
these are the fits.
Oh, these.
Oh, that's so good. I love it.
This is the polyamory group. Is that what that is? So they're all having sex together. Well, good for them. Good times.
They are all having sex together?
Yes, that's the point.
Oh,
They're a group of polyamorous couples, or a quadruple or something.
Nice.
And seems to be working for them.
So I saw this girl's video the other day about how much wax are on these apples. And as someone who eats fucking a lot of apples, because I fucking love apples, I was kind of like disgusted by it. Like, I always knew that they were like waxy and I always wash them. But I saw this thing and it was crazy. So I was just thinking about it this morning when I went and grabbed my apple. So I was going to try it. So I got it's a cosmic crisp apple. They're frickin' delicious. And I got my X-Acto knife and I'm going to see if the wax really scrapes off. Like,
She fucking loves apples.
I know. I love her
yeah,
F-bond.
Hold on. Can you see that? Look at that.
So what?
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
my
nothing. It's nothing.
It's spiritual.
And
Look
just-
at that. Look at that.
Everybody like that sound? Everybody dig that sound?
Yep. I'm ingesting
Annie's
that
ears are bleeding right now.
multiple times.
Yeah, good.
That's-
Enjoy your
Annie, does
apple.
that make your
Ridiculous.
ears bleed?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. that she
Wow,
keeps
and this
doing
is
that.
one apple. I
guess
feed
you
my
didn't prove
kids
it the
these
first
apples.
time.
Like I said, I knew apples were waxed. Like, I knew it, but I guess I never
It makes your poop slide out faster.
realized.
That's it. See? She heard my joke.
Little disgusted, if you will. Just keeps going.
Oh, that fucking
Look.
apple.
It just keeps
Here,
going.
let's be a reason. Let's use
What
our
the-
reasoning, the rational revolution for a second.
Starting to get to
All
me
right,
now,
I'm
this
gonna
screech.
figuring out a new way to wash my apples from now on.
How about you don't eat apples? Get applesauce.
All right, it's fucking snowing
Cut the
apple.
skin off.
Apple wax up in this bitch.
I like
Figure
her.
out
Though.
the best way to wash these shits to get rid of that. I'll get back to you.
Something appealing about her.
I
but-
do like her.
Yeah, her style. I like her whole style. But here's the deal. She's been
profanity.
eating apples forever. She's been eating that wax. What, did they kill you so far? What's the problem? What's the medical issue caused by all that wax?
It made her
Nothing. It
arrogant.
goes through you, comes out. It's no big deal. It makes the apples look nicer. That's it. Maybe it also protects it against some fucking pesticides or something. I don't know. It may have some benefit to it beyond just looking nice, but wax is inert. It is harmless. You've been eating apples your whole life. They have not hurt you. They will not hurt you in the future. Here's the crazy part to me.
What kind of wax is it?
The only reason you're reacting is because you can see it with your eye. You've known forever that was there.
Yeah,
but
but-
somehow because you see it, oh my God.
I'm a problem solver.
Okay.
All she needs to do is peel the apple.
Of course.
Just don't eat the skin.
If that bothers her, but
But
why?
the
It shouldn't
skin's the
even
good
bother
part.
her.
It's good for you.
Shouldn't even
Right?
bother
It has
her.
all the vitamins.
Yeah, it shouldn't bother her. Eat the wax. Who cares? All right, let's talk to Zach. We have an interesting call from Zach here. This is a good one for us. All right, Zach, let's have it.
Still thinking
Hello,
about the
Dr. Drew, Susan, and the Booth Boys. How's it going?
Yo, buddy, what's
Yeah,
happening?
the Booth boys are here.
I'm pretty good. So, for the last 6 or 7 years, I have been experiencing something that I've seen called sexsomnia.
Yep.
Meaning,
sex during sleep.
I will go to sleep and I will have full-blown intercourse with my wife and wake up and have absolutely zero recollection of anything happening at all. So my question is,
What
have you
position?
heard of this? And do you know of any cures or other things to fix it?
First of all, I want to know what position.
Good question.
Do you instigate
I
it?
couldn't tell you. I think it's kind of a creepy thing where I just kind of wake up on top of her. It's a little bit terrifying.
You've never heard of this?
Hold on real quick. From the booth, you want this to be cured? Is that what
I know, yeah, why do you need it to be
Sounds
cured?
great.
I mean, so far the reviews have been pretty positive, so maybe not.
Yeah, you're at your best when you're asleep. It's like you don't make your wife less happy.
That's funny.
Anything you can do awake, you can do asleep. That's essentially the axiom. So you may sort of be awake, but the memory functioning may not be coming in yet. So you sort of have, you may not be hypnagogic, you may just be amnestic, right? And so hypnagogic, you're sort of in a fugue state. Amnestic means you just don't remember, which is part of why sleep seems so short, because you have sort of an amnestic component to how sleep works. I suspect it's more that, judging by how you're sort of fully functional. Has your wife ever tried to wake you up, like bring you more into awareness?
Well, that's the weird thing is she doesn't know what's happening, because when it's happening, as she says, my eyes are open, I'm talking, weird. I'm communicating, I'll go to the bathroom, I'll get a drink. And
it's like an alien gets inside your body or something.
It's a possession. That's what it is. I'm here to tell you were possessed by the devil. Do you turn the lights on?
No.
Maybe some light in the situation would help kind of bring you probably what will happen is if you light things up, do things that create higher sort of sensory arousal. There's not much more arousal than sex, but sort of visual arousal as well as everything else. I bet you'll come to during the act. That's what I bet. It'll sort of come into focus a little bit. In terms of treatment, I mean, there are, you'd have to go get a sleep study and see. Did you sleepwalk as a kid?
I know that I have a few times. I've heard a couple of weird stories, but I drive for a living, so anything sleep-related could disqualify me, which is why it's kind of weird to try to go somewhere and talk about this.
I understand.
Yeah.
It's harmless. It's not going to hurt anybody. It is a sleep disturbance like many others. Sleepwalking is the antecedent history, or sleep terrors also come with that. And you can tie yourself down during sleep and all this kind of stuff.
Have you ever done that, Drew? Have you ever had sex when you're asleep?
No. Mm-mm. I don't. I'm either awake or I'm asleep.
I know our kids. We have a sleepwalker in the family.
Yeah, he he does that. But I am one or the other. I have there's no in between for me. Have you ever had the sleep paralysis?
No.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's had sleep paralysis and that kind of thing as well. It's just
I had a really sexual dream last night.
Oh, good. Congratulations.
I always like those.
Congratulations.
Yeah, it was weird though. I can't really tell you what it was because it's just so weird.
You won't tell us what it is because it's so weird?
No, I can't put it into words. You know how your dreams are really weird, like you try to explain them, it just isn't the same as when you're
I know that's your thing very often.
I mean, there wasn't anybody in particular, but I mean, there were like 20 hot women and you were with them, and then the men started showing up. And guess what?
What?
They were really big African American.
Your
or
favorite.
Black or Colombian or whatever.
Oh, that's right. You like Colombians. That's right.
They kind of look like that picture that Mike Catherwood sent us today.
Nice. Well done.
Yeah, I know.
Congratulations.
It's always a fun dream. Mm-hmm. Like, we were polyamorous.
I'm polyamorous?
No, we were in the dream, I think.
Oh, I see. But we were having polyamory with other people.
Yeah, I don't know any of these terms. Like, I wouldn't even know. But
let's see some more videos.
It wasn't a...
Hey, Annie.
Yes,
this would be both cap and sus.
It is. It may be sus.
Sus.
Yeah, maybe sus.
What does
sus
that mean?
Then, okay.
And cap. I think
what
it's cap also.
What does that mean? Uh-oh.
All right, what do you got?
Sleepwalking's cap, though.
Yeah.
And quick thinking saved my life. So back during 2020, I was taking a lot of long walks because we were in lockdown. And like a moron, I had the same pattern. I walked the same route every day. Well, in one afternoon, I was walking the isolated highway out here by my house. There were cornfields on either side of the highway and no houses anywhere for at least a solid mile. As I'm walking, I hear a car coming up behind me. So I step aside to let the car pass so that I can carry on. This car, he does drive past me, but only about 10 yards and then stops right in front of me. And so I immediately stop walking and I watch him and I'm like, what is he doing? And this black sedan is just sitting there about 10 yards in front of me, waiting for me to walk past it. And let me tell you, a fear came over me that I cannot explain and I have never had before or since then. That fear that tells you something is very wrong. I continue to stand there. I don't walk past the car because something tells me if I try to walk past that car, he's going to open that door and try to take me. So I'm standing there, I'm waiting it out, and this guy, I see the reverse lights flash, which means he put his car in park. The man put his car in park and was now looking at me through the driver's side mirror. It's just me and him. There is nobody. If I scream, nobody is going to hear me. There's fields on either side. There's nowhere I can run except backwards. So I think fast. I don't have pepper spray. I don't have my pistol on me, but I do have my phone. So I grab my phone and I immediately just act like I'm calling 911. I didn't actually dial 911 because I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Whatever's about to happen is going to happen in seconds, and no cop is going to get to me in time. But I wanted this guy to think that I was talking to the police. And it seemed to work. As soon as I pulled my phone out and started acting like I was talking, the reverse lights go back, he puts the car in drive, and he takes off.
Poor guy just probably wanted directions.
I call my best friend Kevin, who lives about a mile down the road, and he answers the phone, thank God. And I said, Kevin, I'm in a situation. There's a guy that I think is getting ready to take me. I need you to get here. I need you to get here now. This is where I'm at. Kevin doesn't even put shoes on or anything. He grabs his keys, he jumps in his truck, and he's like, all right, I'm on my way. I'm coming to you. Stay on the phone with me. And y'all, something in me just knew, like, even though that car drove away, he's coming back. And I'm just waiting and I'm watching for that car to have turned around and come back for me. And I'm waiting to see whose car I'm going to see first, this guy or my friend Kevin, who is going to show up and get me first.
Okay.
And thank God I see Kevin's truck around the corner first, and I wave him and he flies over to me, and I jump in the truck and shut the door and we take off. But y'all, I kid you not, as we're taking off, we look in the rearview mirror and y'all, that sedan had turned around and it had come back.
Uh-oh.
And I said, Kevin, that's the car. That's the car. He came back. And we're still driving away, but we're watching him in the rearview mirror. And y'all, he parks his car right where I was standing. He gets out of his car, and we see him, and he is looking for me. And that phone call to Kevin most likely saved my life.
Thank you,
he's
Kevin.
Either looking for you, or he's thinking, I wonder if that chick needs a ride, or maybe she can give me some directions, or I think I dropped something here. Wonder if she saw it.
My heart was beating fast during this story.
Well, okay.
That was really intense.
There's definitely she was going to get kidnapped. Definitely.
I mean, you never know. She was being safe. She was smart.
Yes, I have all for being safe, and she certainly won't drive that highway next time without her pistol.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see her just.
No, it's scary.
off.
You have to be careful these days.
I agree with that, but she had
you always
no
have
evidence.
To play devil's advocate, but that was really
Listen,
well done. That was a nice clip. She really worked on that.
Okay.
So.
I'm in favor of people trusting their instincts. I'm very in favor of that. But there's actually no evidence that guy was up to anything. Zero evidence.
Yeah, I know, but she didn't want to get close enough to find out.
I get it.
That's smart.
And I endorse everything she did, other than insisting that the guy met her harm.
I mean, she has a pistol, so she lives out in the middle of nowhere, and she needs a pistol. So we don't own anything like that because, we don't have cornfields for rows and rows.
How about some horrible or hilarious?
That's so crazy.
That made me nervous. Oh, well, this is going to be hilarious. Russian.
I love guys like this. Oh my God. It's not going to.
Oh, the worst of all.
Oh no. Poor guy. He's going to.
I wish we knew what they were saying.
He said, "You are such a dumbass."
He goes, "Fuck you."
That's what it sounded like.
We
Pull it
did.
back. I want to hear what the guy said.
Much the way your heart was beating fast during the story, my cream hysteric response absolutely maximized during this.
What is that?
When your testicles pull through your body.
Colossal poof.
Colossal poochie.
Colossal ass.
Where's my friend Nastya Lukin when I need her to translate?
I think it's colossal.
All right, what else we got? These are good. I like that one. That was hilarious.
Why is that funny?
Falls are funny.
Yeah, look, check this out. For all y'all beautiful women.
Oh.
What's that?
Aye, aye, aye.
I'm cooling. Oh, yeah. I'm cooling.
Oh, yeah. It's like you heard me.
I'm trying to tell y'all now. Uh-huh. Hey.
Aye, aye, aye.
You know what make me feel good? Your pussy and your booty, girl.
Oh.
And them drawers. Them little bikini drawers. Oh, yeah, my baby. I'm trying to tell y'all now. Yeah, girl. Bro, Briggs. What's happening, Bro Briggs? I like them drawers y'all wearing, Bro Briggs. Uh-huh. Them flower drawers, them black one, and them red one. Bro, Brace, y'all touched my heart with them little draws, guy.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's it? Oh, I could listen to him all day.
Oh, he was in front of the hotel today in a wheelchair. A guy just like him.
Did he say, I
No, he was.
I want to eat your booty?
He was, yeah. It was just funny. There was a car parked in the entrance of the hotel, and the guy in the wheelchair was going backwards, and he looked like that guy.
Where does that guy live? He doesn't live right here, does he?
It was the I guy,
no,
right?
he lives in Louisiana.
Right, but he looked like him, and he came up against the car, and they were like, "Be careful, don't hit the car." And he goes, "Get off of my sidewalk!"
Oh no!
He started yelling at them, and I was like, "This guy owns a town."
Yeah, my question is, what do we think we were looking at there? I could listen to his dialogue all day, but we were watching an empty room
with a
no. I think I know what's going on here. We're looking at, I don't know what's on the table there, but we're looking at a mop and bucket and a door. That's it. That's all we're saying. What's on the table? Like a cookie jar or something. So what do we all figure is going on here?
Well, his camera's just facing the wrong way. He doesn't realize he's filming.
He's doing
obviously.
a selfie, except he doesn't realize it's not going towards him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on here. He's filming the room instead of his face. And but he is enough of he's entertaining enough that I don't care. I don't care. He's all him. What is his actual name again? I forget.
Joseph.
In fact, I was. It's funny you played this video today because I was longing for him today. Seriously, I was. Do you guys have any more contact with him?
No, nothing recently, but he's still just uploading, great content all the time.
Bring me more. If you have more today, I'll happily look at it. All right, keep going. We got time for videos here. Let's do them. Aye.
I swear he was in front of the hotel today.
I'm gonna go out there and look for him.
Yeah, what happened to me? One of my friend's house, and we had a party. We don't get around here on certain days just when we can get everybody together. So we had this party. Well, we all living it up, having a good old time. And some weirdo up there said, we need to have a contest. A staring contest. A staring contest? What the heck are they talking about? Everybody's getting ready. We ain't been doing nothing. So, okay, we're going to do this. Who all wants to go? They had a runoff, and I got in the final. Yeah. You know what? I found out I can outstare anybody. I've been known to fall asleep with my eyes open anyway.
Oh, boy. That's crazy.
Meanwhile, anyhow. So
almost like he heard
I said,
you.
all right, we're going to get ready to start. Yeah. He said, hold on a minute. Here come out this girl. She's standing there. She had like a long trench coat on something. Stood there next beside him. He said, ready? I said, yep, begin. Pulled her opened her coat up. I said, you think that's going to really distract me? No, you're crazy. Contest was over 10 minutes later. Sure was.
Congratulations.
Can somebody loan me $980?
Yeah, no problem, dude. Oh, my God. He's just an odd bird, isn't he?
Oh, my God.
He, by the way, it doesn't have to have that high voice. If you notice, he at one point said, okay, begin. And he's like has ability to produce a male voice, and then he goes back into his cartoon voice.
That's funny.
It is weird.
I didn't really get that one.
Has the sort of specter of cool guy begun? Have we expanded that sort of cool guy zone a little bit? We've started including.
So what do you think his thing is? Is he like a drinker, or is he just got a personality disorder?
I think he is sort of
redneck?
immature, lives in an isolated environment.
Yeah.
And has gotten old.
Right.
And so probably that was different when he was 22. It probably looked very different. But now it's like, okay. But a cool guy, is the category expanding? Are we sort of...
I mean, I think, yeah, like it encompasses more now. I think we would always play these kind of guys on the show, but now we're just kind of using it to, talk about every guy on the show, basically.
Yeah, I would say it's just a general lack of awareness. Anyone with
self-awareness.
Yeah.
So cool guy now is anybody who doesn't really perceive himself or herself, because cool gal is a part of the category now, in the manner which most of us would.
Yeah.
Right? Most of us would go,
I think you nailed it.
All right, let's see. I want to see.
You want to invite him to Christmas?
I want to see cool guy marriage counseling. Cool guys, I generally don't want to invite to. No, as we were talking, I was talking about some other show. Generally, the cool guy is somebody you sort of pull away from. You don't go towards.
We don't have any of those in our family.
Not yet.
Yeah. It's probably going to be me first.
I went to marriage counseling, back when I was married. And, my wife just thought I was a complete asshole. She didn't understand, going out and having a drink with your buddies. She didn't understand that I didn't want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. She didn't understand that I didn't want to be under control. So, I was an asshole, right? Of course, it couldn't have been her, right? So we go to counseling. And she's just railing me, just telling me how I'm just a no-good son of a bitch across the board, calling me everything but white, right? And so I just, without hesitation, just said, and then some, and then some. She's like, you're such an asshole. And I was just like, and then some. Kept on going on. She'd rail me for another 30 seconds about how I'm this, that, and the other. I just said, yeah. The counselor told her that I was obstinate and that counseling was futile and it wasn't going to go anywhere. Man, that counselor was right.
I like that about him. He is an asshole. And some people like assholes like that. I mean, this, like anything, right? There's somebody for everybody, and everything, all kinds of qualities in people's personalities can have assets as well as liabilities.
Yeah.
But I'm sure this guy is very difficult to hang out with, if you're a woman especially.
I don't think she needed to spend any money in counseling.
I think she thought she was going to change him, that if he's had some insight into the impact of some of his behaviors.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
No, that ain't going to change. That ain't going to change. All right, that's good. I like that one.
Forever single.
Well, no, he'll find somebody. Believe me, he will. Unk Shine update. What's this about? What's happening?
We just watched that. That was Unk Shine with the camera turn.
Oh, Unk Shine. Okay, got it. And by the way, this guy that we were just the counseling guy, Andrew Tate and his kind have a whole big following. There are a lot of people that like that kind of thing. And this guy sort of does. Am I getting that right,
Who's
gentlemen?
Andrew Tate?
What? That there's a large following of people for Andrew Tate. Yeah, Andrew.
Who is that?
I'll tell you in a second. And B, that this guy's sort of in that Andrew Tate kind of vibe.
Similar vibe, yeah. Yeah.
It's sort of it's misogynistic, hyper-masculine, narcissistic, kind of quasi-abusive.
They're out there.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
I think it's just funny though. I mean, it's obvious cap because homie's. I mean, he's got like the hair transplant. He's got the Botox. Like, homie, you care more than anybody else. Like, why are you trying to pretend like you hard?
Well, but
it's all cap.
But it's the narcissism, right? Look, when you really get down to it, all roads lead to narcissism. When things aren't working right, it's because people are too narcissistically tied up, and they don't realize what their defensive strategies are, and they lose empathy for other people, and they have envy, and it's just, they can be aggressive, and it's unpleasant. It's unpleasant. That's all I'm saying. All right, are there more up there?
Have you seen this one?
Probably not.
What's your pronouns?
I'm a male. I'm a man. I'm a he. I don't get into that mentally ill stuff.
Okay. I'm Z-Zer. What you feel about that?
Mental illness.
I want more from him. I want to hear more about this. He reminds me of he's my redneck I. He's my so funny. Do you have the last week we looked at the woman, the polyamory woman that was skiing?
Yes, I got her right here.
All right, listen to this woman and see.
Okay. I like
one
skiing.
of the pros about being in an open relationship is it removes the pressure to always have to do everything together. My husband and I have been non-monogamous for 12 years, and I've always been a little bit of an adrenaline junkie. And my husband's not. I've had times where I date someone who loves hiking and loves skiing and loves kite surfing, and we get to have those dates where we go skiing all day and then go out to a really good dinner and then hang out in the hot tub and fool around afterwards. And would I love to have that experience with my husband? Yes, but he doesn't enjoy the skiing aspect. And so if he did it for me because I love it, I would at the same time have this sense of kind of guilt that he's just not enjoying it that much and he's only doing it because he feels like he has to. And then that makes the experience a little bit less enjoyable for me. And I find it funny that I am filming this video while I'm totally on an adrenaline high after getting to ski by myself for the past hour.
So what do you think?
That is fun.
What's that?
Skiing alone.
Okay, agree.
I think that she needs to have some intimacy in her relationship.
Right.
And, try to share what she loves with him.
And how about all those
appreciate
words, all that explanation,
Oh,
all
yeah.
that on.
Oh, I know.
Have any reaction to that?
She's on a high, whatever she's.
Well, she's definitely, there's that. But what about the content of all those explanations and all those reasons and all those this and how this is
I
and how
mean,
that is?
that's how women's minds work. And we think about all this stuff
Mm-hmm.
and how good it would be if, And she's had.
What do you think, Eddie?
I saw that face. You said, "Oh, is that right?" Tell me more.
I mean, she's a little manicky, but definitely knows what she wants.
Okay.
She likes to ski. She's very athletic. And
Right.
her husband isn't, but it's not like politics is tearing them apart.
Right. What's tearing them apart?
I don't know. Her anxieties. I don't know. What?
It's all good. Don't worry.
What are
I'm
you
not
aiming
giving anything.
at?
I don't want to lead the witness. I just wanted you to react to it. I'm curious
No,
what your reaction is.
I think
you said
she's-
they need more intimacy in their relationship.
Yeah.
Is what she's doing moving things in that direction?
Well, yeah, I guess he's going to know now because she just put it on video.
Right. We already knew. We already knew all this.
I mean, I don't know. She's not happy.
Right. And all those words were just kind of weird justifications, and she's just really just not happy, right?
But I mean, if she could just say, "This is what I really like to do, and I'd love to do it with you," and then not feel guilty.
Right. Or if things just aren't working.
I don't know. I don't know if you have to break up because of that, just because you have a little bit of, how. Not everybody is happy all the time.
Right.
You have
Maybe you
to
missed
work through it.
what she said she was doing.
What? She was having an affair with somebody else. and
Many,
having a good
many,
time. Yeah.
lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the opposite of intimacy, isn't it?
Yeah.
With him.
Well, did she say before or during? She was doing stuff like that.
They are in a lovely polyamorous relationship for the last 12 years.
Oh, okay.
And here's what they're doing, and here's why it's so great.
This is what polyamory is.
Mhm.
Okay. See,
Well, it's
I
one
thought-
version. It's one version. This, and it's sort of, people would call this, it really isn't polyamorous. It's really conscious non-monogamy. That's what I think people would call that.
Okay. So
Ethical non-monogamy. Thank you. Thank you.
So yeah, I mean, some people that's how they get into that position.
Yes. Yes.
They
I
have that
agree.
kind of personality. They're not willing to just say, "Oh well, whatever."
But why doesn't she just be single?
I don't know.
Wouldn't that be healthier? More honest? More honest?
Probably, yeah.
Right. That's my point. Is my thing with this was like there's a lot of explanation and rationalization. And blah, blah, blah. Just she's not happy.
Yeah. They're very transparent about what they're doing. So.
I mean, and now you and I have had conversations about people though just sustaining marriages just because.
Yeah.
Right. It could be that.
Right.
Right. And that's fine if that's what they're doing, but it didn't sound like that.
Well,
it sounds like a lot of justification of things that
She's
really.
making herself happy. She's skiing by herself, and
Right.
she's making a video to present to the world.
Right.
And him.
Well, he already knows, I'm sure.
Let's just hope that he doesn't do the same.
Oh, of course
she
he does.
finds out.
Of course he might.
He's got a really hot younger girl or something.
What's wrong with that? That's what she wants. That's the whole thing.
I'm just saying, if that's polyamory, then
That's
they
the
should be able to do
ethical
whatever they want.
non-monogamy. You do whatever you want, or just tell each other. Blah, 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 and
Are you saying that we should do that?
I am not saying that. I'm saying that I don't see if somebody is, look, if they're just in marriage because it's a business and that's it, whatever. That
Right.
doesn't need a lot of explanation.
Right, right.
It's like I do whatever I want in this marriage, and we
Exactly.
just stay married in name only.
Well, that's kind of
Got
what
it.
she's doing.
Right, but she couches it in this huge explanation
She's
about how it's
rationalizing
good
why
and
she's
it's
skiing by
and
herself.
why it's good and why this is the way to do it, and he's so happy and I'm so happy. It's like, no, I don't hear happy.
I mean, I think if I went skiing by myself, you would be very upset.
wouldn't think it was a
You'd be
great
like,
idea.
"What's going on?"
Yeah, I'd be like wondering about it.
Yeah, but I mean, she enjoyed it. I like skiing alone, but I wouldn't
But
do
that,
it.
the
'cause-
skiing was incidental to the whole thing. I know you focused in on the skiing. The skiing is an incidental.
Yeah,
part
but maybe that's what she needs to do. Is she needs to ski alone in her marriage.
The whole thing was about how our ethical non-monogamy is so wonderful. For 12 years, we've done this thing where we aren't ever together. I just fuck other people. That was what she was saying.
Yeah.
And I agreed with you at your outset that it needs more intimacy of some type.
No, I know,
Or,
they do,
or
like-
complete breakup and go do whatever you want.
I don't know why. Maybe they have to stay together for other reasons. So
Right. And then she should just state that. It shouldn't be a big explanation about.
I know this is very you're very well versed on this. You know, it doesn't work out. It never.
It
ends
doesn't
well.
work out. It
right?
doesn't
But
end well.
I just
Exactly.
figure if people want to do it, whatever. Let them
Oh,
do
I
it.
agree with that. Do whatever they want. I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is that she's that she's trying to convince me so she can convince herself.
Listen.
You don't convince me. Just do whatever you want.
I just watched her for like 3 minutes, and all I heard was blah, 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 blah,
Right.
blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And I would want to do other stuff too. I'd rather be with somebody else.
Than her?
Yeah.
Yeah, because she's wound up. All right.
You know, I mean, come on. How long would you last with her?
It's hard to say. I wasn't thinking about it that way. I don't know.
He's probably like, thank God.
That's the point. That's not an improvement in the relationship. That may be the way it's going. I don't know.
You know, and divorce is not a good thing. We've learned.
Right.
It's a very difficult thing for a lot of people because, like, it all goes to the attorneys, and you know, why not just make it work and keep it together?
And if
maybe he's a billionaire, who knows?
And by the way, if this is the only way they can make it work, and they're just living separate lives, just say that. Don't put it in this these frameworks of health. It just is what it is for you guys, and it's working for you, and good. That's
yeah.
fine.
What do you guys think? Would you ever be in a relationship like that?
Where my girls fucking other dudes?
Yeah.
That's the question.
No. I think I'm good on that.
Sus.
Yeah, it would sus.
That would be a big no over there.
And Zolo?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
Okay.
And Chad?
I wouldn't start one out on that foundation, but I think that could be a discussion after like years of having built something together where there is trust and you're both kind of doing something. If the I guess partnership needs that.
Right.
So
gosh.
So you'd be down after a few years for some dude to fuck your chick?
It's not exactly what I'm saying.
Sus.
If we're putting it that way.
I think it's sus.
How about if it was her?
If it was...
I don't think I could handle her. She was too much for me, I think. I'd be like, yes.
Although she looks she's in shape. I mean,
you're trying to use your intellectual brain to force your emotional brain to cooperate with something.
Right.
That's what bothers me.
Right.
And I just hate it when people do that. That's taking and this is, we're in a whole fucking trend of this right now, where people take ideas, and force their human nature to comply with it. It doesn't work. It's not a good thing.
No, I get it.
It ends up in a bad place.
I think it'd be hard to recover from, like, as a couple.
Yes, of course. Oh my God.
I think
that's
over.
a natural human nature. And again, you might have a reason to agree to make it work together, but you're going to be broken up effectively. You're not going to be in an intimate relationship. You're going to have a business relationship we call a marriage, and you're going to have your own romantic lives completely separate. It's going to be like an old fucking middle medieval king and queen or something.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And then that happens. I mean, but that's not health. And you have to be honest about what it is.
Right.
Not pretend it's ideologically something I'm going to convince myself and you that we should all just be doing because it's so wonderful.
But who do you think the video is for? Like, is it for all her friends
her.
that said, why aren't you with your husband? He's so great. He has all this money. You can do whatever you want. Like, why do you have to have all these other things?
It's for people that really are in these situations that they don't feel great about, but don't want to admit it to themselves, do a lot of convincing like this. That's where I get bothered by this.
Yeah.
They're convincing themselves by convincing other people how wonderful.
Why are people making videos of themselves talking about this stuff?
What do you think?
I mean, they're narcissists. I mean, putting it on TikTok.
It's right now. It's you get social capital for being one of these people that can just do this thing that is, society doesn't force this on me. Nobody forces anything on me. I do my thing, and it just watch where it goes, everybody. I've been around long enough to see where these things go.
And I think, like, after being married for a really long time, or being with somebody who's always been into non-monogamous relationships, I mean, maybe he started it. Who knows?
But then again, she had to accept it, and now she's convincing herself. Now, to be fair, they've done it for 12 years, right? And people could go, "That's 12 years, pretty good run. That's not so bad." Yeah, it is, and it's whatever it is working for them. Don't convince yourself and don't convince me.
Right.
Be more honest about what it is you're doing. That's all I'm asking for. I don't like.
Well, she's being pretty honest. She put it in video.
She's not being honest. She's convincing everybody why it's a good thing. I don't hear anything about. Nothing seemed real about that to me. Like, what's really going on here? We've speculated all kinds of things because we don't know what's really going on.
No, I know. I get it.
What's really going on?
It's a weird video.
All right, I'll tell you what's really going on. We're moving on. We're going to thank you for being here today, as always. Well done. How'd you like taking the calls?
It was good. I really appreciate the calls.
It's different, right? It's kind of cool.
I don't know
having
if
live
I'm
calls.
any good at answering them, but
You're good. No, you aren't
I don't
good.
know why you guys have me on the show, but
Why do we have her on the show? Let's hear from each of you. She won't believe me. Who's first? Zolo?
The audience loves you.
There you
They
go.
do.
Annie?
Thank you. I love you too.
Because you're dope.
Gentlemen, thank you so much. Susan, thank you. We'll see you all next time. All conversations and information exchanged during participation in the Dr. Drew After Dark podcast or interaction on the drdrew.com website is intended for educational and entertainment purposes only. Do not confuse this with treatment or physician medical advice or direction per se. You must always follow your medical professional's advice and direction. Nothing on these podcasts or posted on this site supplements or supersedes the relationship and direction of your medical caretakers. Please understand, I am not playing the role of physician in this environment per se. I'm educating. I am a licensed physician with specialty boards in American Board of Internal Medicine and American Board of Addiction Medicine.